Hey, what it do, y'all? What it do? Just another unscheduled video drop. I got a lot of stuff on the way, by the way. So I just figured I'd talk to y'all right quick about a few things. There was something that was discussed a while back about the man being the head and the woman being his neck. Now, see, I never thought of that because I figured if she's my neck, she could break my neck. So I've thought of it differently because I think we kind of take things too literally at times when we speak on certain things. It kind of goes back to my idea of that sometimes we could be too conceptualized. So I've thought of it different because it's always been based on this idea of a man's role in a woman's life. And it is this. Uh, a man being a woman's head is just that. He is her authority, you know. He is her authority. He literally is her mastermind. He is her ruler, a good one. You know what I'm saying? As far as directing her, you know, not being too overly dominant at times. So, but he is her head from that standpoint. And as far as what she is, I don't see her as really part of a body or anything. You know, she represents the landscape. She represents everything out yonder. Because until a woman has a man in her life, she will be out yonder, you know, just kind of foraging, if you will, just trying to see her way through this life. And I say that because that's the way this Western life is for the average woman, uh, unless they are with their family. But even then, that is still them just trying to get their mind together and grasp around this idea of womanhood. So this is still like, to me, a woman's roaming phase. But in essence, what she is around a man that is her ruler per se or her authority per se, she's now at a stage in her life where she can accept order. She's in a stage in her life where she can get some guidance and direction. And it doesn't matter if she's financially well off. It doesn't matter if she's an independent woman, because even that term independent woman is a misnomer. You know, the only thing I strive out of a woman that may have more money than me at any time is just this thing of interdependence, which is opposite of independence. Interdependence is just this idea that you came amongst my way with your own source of dependence for such a time. Until you ran into me, you don't necessarily need to do the same things you've been doing anymore. You now have me, and you now can be my helpmeet. And in many ways, I can take some of the load off your back. You don't have to work as hard as you used to anymore. You can lay low, and really your main job should be working for me per se. You know, let me put you on, let me have you do certain things. You know, so this is the part of the headship per se. You know, so it kind of takes away this whole idea of how she could be my neck. Because like I said, if she's my neck, she can break my neck at any moment. I don't want that. I'd rather her continue to be the landscape. I be the head, the authority that sees out yonder as she roams out yonder in her life as well as in her mind. Now, there was this song that I was listening to the other night about that midnight train to Georgia, you know, if anybody knows that song. And in that song, this woman says something very, very beautifully. She says something on the lines like, I'd rather be in his world than for him. Hold on. She said, I'd rather be in his world than for me to be in my world and him not be a part of my world. Something along those lines. If I can rephrase that one more time. She said that I'd rather be in his world than for him not to be in mine while I live my life and do my thing in my world. So the whole idea of this thing about the man being the true head, not the figurative head, literally the head of the body, but for him to be like head as far as ruler, as far as authority in a woman's life, it requires a woman to leave her world behind and to be a part of his world, to be truly his attachment. You know, for him to really be the surveyor for her to realize that though she's had such an amazing life, it may seem, now that she has attached herself to a man, he's seen all that she's probably been doing, and he sees more. He understands the way that she walks and talks. And I find it that when a man can be this way and he's around a female that's not being a real woman, she's going to be rebellious. She's going to be disagreeing about the fact that this man actually can see a lot of different things that she didn't think that he could see. And he be reading her mail. He be right on the money, but she be like, nah, I disagree with that. Oftentimes he's telling the truth, but she don't want to admit it. But yeah, this is what happens when you got a female that's not trying to be a real woman, and she don't want to accept order. She don't want to accept him as her head, not the head like figuratively, but as her ruler. She don't want to accept him as her ruler. And see, here's the other thing about this. The fact that he's her ruler is just the fact that he has this covering over her. No matter where she's at in her state of mind, and no matter where she's at as she's out there in life, no matter where she goes, he's looking after her. He wants to make sure that she's okay. So there's a lot that comes into a man being her head, and not just literally the head, as far as the body and her being the neck. Now, we limit ourselves when we just talk on the terms of body parts, becoming too conceptualized about that. Brothers, y'all more than just a head on top of a body. You're rulers. You are rulers, okay? You are authoritative figures. And hopefully you are prudent in your position, in the way you stand, in the way that you have become as a man. Because that's one thing you do have to become, is a man, And so a real woman will recognize you being that great ruler, being that great covering for her. She won't be trying to rebel. She'll accept your order and get herself in order. See, they say a woman needs to have herself together, have herself in order before she meets the right man. Nah, I think the best women are the ones that know it takes a man to get herself together and to get herself in order. But at the same time, she's not being chaotic. She's not representing disorder. She represents a woman that has great humility. That's something that is much needed in this society. Much needed. I'm going to talk more about humility as time goes on in the upcoming video. But just thought I'd address this whole thing that took place not too long ago when it was about them saying that the man is the head and the woman is the neck. Nah. Now y'all know that was kind of taking things too figuratively. At least from my perspective. Signing out.